Hello, my name is Kaylin Kitai, and my Shinto practicum is focused around the theme of divine love. My practicum is an exploration and study of love between the divine and humanity, and how love can bring humanity closer to the heavens, just as it can bring Kami closer to the feelings of mortals. My boyfriend inspired me to center my practicum around divine love. I dedicate this presentation and my travels in its making to him. I settled on 5 shrines to visit with 4 stories. I chose Izanagi and Izanami and their love story as the creation gods that made Japan, Susanoo and Kushinada Hime, and the story of how he won her hand, the White Rabbit and the role it played in the love story of Okunununshi and how he won the hand of Yagami Pime, and Tokube and Ohatsu, 2 mortals with a tragic love story that were later enshrined after their death. We begin with Izanagi and Izanami. I chose 2 separate shrines to visit for Izanami and Izanagi. I went to Iya Shrine, which was about 6 hours away at Matsue Shimane. And then for Izanagi, I went to Awaji Island, where Izanagi Jingu is located. The origins of Izanami and Izanagi, they were the final pair born from the divine generation of the Kami Yonanayo, and from birth they were each other's mates from then on until the end of their divinity. It is they who accomplished all the godly feats beginning at the creation of Japan. However, while giving birth to their final child, Izanami passed on from her childbirthing injuries and went on to the land of Yomi. In his grief, Izanagi journeyed to the land of Yomi to recover his wife. However, he ignored her instructions upon his arrival and laid eyes upon her corpse and ran away in disgust. His actions incited his wife's rage, and thus began a long and arduous pursuit. And in the end, Izanagi pulled a boulder down to block Izanami from chasing him through a valley, and the two forswore their wedding vows to each other on either side of the boulder and parted ways, divorced. This is my visit to Izanagi Shrine. This is me standing in front of the entryway gate, and you can see the actual main shrine through the middle. This is the entering torii and the pathway leading up through it. And this is the washing area where you washed your hands before entering to pray. These are the charms and shuin that I purchased from Izanagi Jingu. I purchased an Emma, 2 Magatama charms, and this is the shuin that I purchased after praying. You will see these items in class as I will physically be bringing them with me as well. This was my visit to Iya Shrine. It was much briefer than my trip to Izanagi Jingu, as the shrine was actually under construction when I arrived. This is the main shrine where Izanami would usually be. You would walk up through these steps to go up to pray. However, they had moved her to this temporary shrine off to the right. You can see it behind me in this picture. This was the entryway path, and this was the stairs leading up to entering the shrine. We enter now with Susanoo and Kushinada Hime. I went to Yasaka Shrine, located in Kyoto, as both Susanoo and Kushinada Hime are both enshrined there. The story of Susanoo was that after being banished from the heavens by Amaterasu, Susanoo traveled the land, and in his travels he met an old couple and their daughter, Kushinada Hime no Mikoto, whom they were preparing to sacrifice to the 8-headed serpent. In return for her hand in marriage, Susanoo offered to kill the beast and save her life. He defeated the serpent with a clever plan and took her as his wife. This was my visit to Yasaka Shrine. Matsuri was actually going on when I visited. This was me going up through the steps, me after being in line to pray at Yasaka Shrine. This was a performer that was there, and this was one of the temporary movable shrines that was present. These are the charms and shuins that I purchased. I purchased a smaller good luck charm for my younger sister, and Emma, as well as a good relationship charm for another one of my younger sisters. This was a special shuin that they were selling at the time because of the Matsuri that I purchased. And this is the regular shuin that I also purchased as well for my ghost shuin. You will see all of these items in class, and I will also be bringing them along physically in person. We enter now with the story of the White Rabbit and number 3. I went to Hakuro Shrine, which was located in Totori. It was about a 6-hour train ride away, similar to my journey to Iya Shrine. And the enshrined deity is specifically the white rabbit from the tale of Okunununchi and the rabbit. The tale is that one day Okunununchi and his brothers heard of a beautiful goddess named Yagami Pime, and they set out to ask for her hand in marriage and brought Okunununchi along to use as a servant. The brothers came upon an injured rabbit in their travels and gave it poor advice that injured it further, and when Okunanunchi saw the cruelty of his brothers, he helped the rabbit and told it how to heal its injuries. In return, the White Rabbit spoke a prophecy. Those 80 deities will certainly never gain Yagami Pime. Although you carry their bags, you shall gain her. And upon his arrival, Yagami Pime turned away all 80 other suitors and chose him specifically to marry. This was my visit to Hokuto Shrine. The shrine itself was gorgeous. This is a frontal picture as well as one from the side. As you walk up the pathway to the Tori, there are little rabbits on top, little rabbit sculptures atop these perches right here. And at the base outside of the shrine itself, there is actually a statue of Okunanunchi and the White Rabbit. And these were gorgeous scenery shots from my walk to the shrine, as well as a sand sculpture that was actually near the shrine as well. This is the shuin that I was able to purchase after praying at Hokuto Shrine, and I have two other charms from Hokuto Shrine that will be available to see in class. Last but not least is the tale of Tokubei and Ohatsu. Their shrine is Ohatsu Tenjin, and it was located in Umeda, Osaka, and the enshrined deities are Ohatsu and Tokubei from the love suicides at Amichima. The story is that Tokubei, a soy sauce shop owner, and Ohatsu, a prostitute, were in love, and they met at Ikutama Shrine. And Tokubei was a servant at his uncle's house. Is in a variety of circumstances, Tokubei ends up disowned by his uncle and loses all of his money because his friend does not pay him back. And Tokubei has no other way to prove his innocence and to restore his honor for these insults than to die. Tokubei was very angry and prepared to die, but before that, he visited Ohatsu one last time and convinced her to die with him. Uh, they went to the Rotenjinji forest where they find a pine and a palm tree to stand underneath, and Tokubei killed Ohatsu with the wakizashi sword before then killing himself. This was my visit to the Ohatsu Tenjin Shrine. It was very out of the way and tucked behind an alleyway corner, but I was able to find it. It's an incredibly beautiful pavilion and is very well maintained and cared for. And this is a picture of me there. And this was the shuin that I purchased from Ohatsu Tenjin and two charms that I purchased for myself and my boyfriend. These are my works cited. And this is the credits towards the people who made the designs for the slides that I'm using. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.